Hey everybody, we're it's probably gonna be the last um crafting lesson on synthesis that we do because we're just gonna keep working with it and working with it for the next um few days here. I want to talk about like the real important thing about synthesis. And the important thing about synthesis is that we can take these ideas that we're building and we can continue to mold them and think about them and apply them. Um, what that looks like is this. So remember a few days back, I took bits of ideas from all over the place, and I made this ball, right? I made this ball thinking that I mulled around, worked with, and thought about. So what's cool about this is that I can take this idea and I can always pull it out and I can always kind of think about it. I can weave it around, I can mull it over, I can think about it in my hand. I can look at different nuances of it. I can look at the more the purple part here, this part of the thinking and think about it. I can look at the pink part. Maybe I don't like it as much anymore. Maybe I've added just a little bit more and I want to shift the way it looks and I can change where the colors are. I can change what's taking precedence in some areas or others, and I can change the shape and I can change the look and feel of it all the time. That's one thing I can do with this thinking that I have. The other thing I can do is I can pull it apart. I can make two separate ideas, right? And I can think about things. I can weave these ideas together and I can just mull them over and take time rolling them around. And this is I use this figuratively, but we quite literally can do this with our thinking. We can continue just to mull it over. It just depends on if you're going to take the time to do that. Um, and what I challenge you guys, and this time especially, you guys have nothing but time to do this with your thinking, to pull apart thoughts and ideas. Now, I think the hard part about this is that when we look at our thinking, oftentimes we look at it and we don't really want to apply it to ourselves. I think that's the big travesty of working with um, ideas is we talk about these things, but we don't really want to look inward because I think it's too vulnerable. It's too scary. We just don't want to do it. I even see you guys on your readers notebooks avoiding it. Like you'll take a lesson and you'll apply it to the character, but you refuse to look at it to yourselves. I want to show you kind of what I've been thinking about recently. So way back, what was this? This is April 29th, about a week ago. I was looking at this. I thought this about Ove in A Man Called Ove. And I said, now I'm thinking that Ove is really lonely. When I learned that Ove's wife had passed away, I realized that anyone could be angry. How could his neighbors have not seen that or helped him or offered comfort or anything? Ove acts this way towards others because he is hurting, and hurt people. I fell into the same trap that I think a lot of you guys do. I just wanted to talk about Ove. And I went back, I was looking through my notebook because that's what good readers do. They look through their notebook and they look at the things that they're thinking. And I was realizing the same thing, that I wasn't looking at myself. And so I'm going to take this idea here and I'm going to think about it today. And I'm just going to I've done some reading already. I've already read for about 40, 50 minutes today just for fun. And the big thing with this is that I'll add the page numbers and all that later. The thing with my thing is synthesis is that I really want to apply it to myself, and here's how I do that. I spelled curmudgeon wrong, but I like the word. So I'm talking about the book now. I'm just reframing, thinking about how Ove is, with his book as a character. See, and I'm looking at how his neighbors are treating Ove. Are people like, does anybody wonder where his wife is, or are they giving him grace because his wife is gone, or are they not? Do they even know? I don't care. And here's where I'm going to apply it to me. And this is where this is where the book starts changing you, right? Honorable thing. So here's where I turn it against. See, before, what you guys are noticing is I talked just kind of about Ove as a character and kind of wondered aloud and thought about some of that stuff and took some of those ideas. And I took that idea from April 29th, and here's where I applied it. Who's the Ove in my life? Who's just hurting and I'm not aware? And they're acting poorly toward me because their life, something's going on with them that's making them feel that way. And so I think it's really important to reframe those actions to know and not think about myself when someone's hurting. Um, and knowing that a lot of times when people are doing things toward me, it's because of internal things with them, and I need to help support them more so than me get vindication for what is wrong. Um, and I think that's an important lesson that we all can learn from. You guys see how I went from the book into myself. And I took that idea that I had from April 29th, I kept mulling it over, pulled it apart, reframed it, and shifted it towards my own change of heart in myself. That's what I want you guys to be seeking to do here as you are working with synthesis. Synthesize those ideas together in your book and then change, alter them, start thinking, well, what am I learning about myself? What am I learning that I can do? What am I learning from my character that matters for me? So that's how you look at that, and that idea of how is the book changing you. Here's how you look at this question. How is the book changing you? You can't talk about, I just understand the characters more. That's you understanding the book more. When your book is changing you, it's saying, I understand me more, or I understand someone else more. Really get reflective. This is when you start really growing up as a reader. And understanding that the world is bigger than just just you, and that these characters are reflections of your world and you that you can learn from, and you can apply their lessons to your own life. That's the goal. That's what we're seeking. So it's not just understanding the book better, it's trying to understand yourself better. And that's where I want you guys to focus. That's what mature readers do. And that's what we're seeking. So start looking towards that, start mulling it over, playing with it. You guys saw me kind of play with words and work towards things, and it's messy. It's not good at all. It'll get fleshed out, but that's okay because this is a journal. It took me about 10, 15 minutes to do this response. So that's how long I would expect for you guys to start kind of thinking about this. And it don't have to be complete. This isn't a complete thing. I haven't even pulled out names yet. I haven't pulled out actual things that might be affecting me or people, which I might do on my own here. Okay. Let me know if there's any questions and or concerns or comments or just some of your thinking, and we'll go from there. Thank you, everybody. And I hope that you have a happy day reading. Bye.